via the Club 520 podcast, Jason Tatum, back when the Celtics signed Gordon Hayward, he got on the phone with the agent, and he said, I got to get traded. I'm trying to play. And I think this story is a good example of how injuries can affect someone's career. And especially with Hayward, it's a very drastic in terms of how they affected him. And also just a moment for us to reflect on the great player that Gordon Hayward once was. Because now I think, a lot of the times, especially young NBA fans, and I'm 17, so who am I to be talking? But, even younger than me, they never got to really experience the peak of Gordon Hayward. They got to see him when he was on the Thunder and didn't play any minutes. And Hayward at one time was a great player for the Utah Jazz, an all-star, a max contract player. And over time, injuries just kind of derailed his career, and it's really unfortunate to see. Because I think Hayward, as kind of not necessarily the best playmaker for a forward, but he's a solid playmaker for his position. I think with the rise of positionless basketball and the point forward in the modern era, that Hayward, especially projecting like right now in the modern NBA, not just when he was on the Jazz back in the day, I think in 2024, a prime Gordon Hayward would be exceptional, even better than he was back when he was with the Utah Jazz. I think he could arguably get more playmaking duties because he put up decent assist numbers, nothing crazy impressive. But I think just with the ball in his hands more, he could have really been something if he was, just trained, developed to be the modern point forward in 2024. I think he had all the tools to be able to do that. And so just see the fact that he was already so good at the time, that Jason Tatum was calling his agent trying to get out of Boston back when they signed him, he was already so good, but I think he would have been even better in the 2024 NBA if he was just a little bit before his time in terms of what I think he could have been with his physical ability, and injuries would ultimately derail his career. I think ultimately he could have been even better now had injuries not gotten in the way. I think he would have fit great in the modern NBA, but ultimately his body just couldn't hold up.